This is not the first time Tyria has seen the Elder Dragons. Zhaitan, the undead Elder Dragon, awoke along with the other Elder Dragons roughly 10,000 years ago and consumed all living things they could find. For more than a millennium, they slept, and now they rise again from the earth, once again, to wreak havoc and annihilate us all. Zhaitan rested under what is now the nation of Arah. When the 6 human gods first arrived there, they had no knowledge of these Elder Dragons at first. The only races to have any written records of the Elder Dragons were the Dwarves and the Jotun. Zhaitan would sleep through Arah's legacy as one of the dominant human kingdoms, and its destruction in 1071 after Exodus. In a desperate act, Vizier Kilbran used dark magic in an attempt to protect Arah and the rest of the nation from the Char armies that had already torn through Ascalon. He invoked a forbidden scroll, and Arah sunk to the bottom of the sea along with its people. In 1219 after Exodus, Arah would rise from its watery tomb along with Zhaitan, the undead Elder Dragon. Zhaitan brought the landmass back to the surface along with its people as his undead army have arisen. Due to Arah's resurfacing, the landscape of Tyria would be forever changed. A great tsunami flooded the Battle Isles and Lion's Arch and reshaped the Sea of Sorrows coastline. Zhaitan is the 3rd Elder Dragon to physically rise from his rest. Zhaitan is a calculated and tactical creature, unlike anything the world has ever seen. For the first 20 years of his awakening, he built up his army off the undead Orian citizens and the creatures that inhabited its lands. The more he killed, the stronger his army became. He's not mindless, but in fact uses militaristic strategy to combat his enemies. Zhaitan's risen forces have a chain of command system. Zhaitan is the mastermind of his forces. He sees and feels everything they do. Under him are the eyes and mouths of Zhaitan. They are abominable creatures that sustain and inform him directly. The eyes lead troops and are used for reconnaissance and ambushes when their enemies least expect it. The mouths search for powerful magical artifacts to feed on, to fuel Zhaitan and increase its overall power. Next are his many champions. This consists of smaller dragons like Tequatl the Sunless, important peoples that were slain by Zhaitan or dead already, so that they could be resurrected like Herboza the Wretched and various Orian kings. Under these 2 main groups are the rest of the risen armies that consist of any undead creature that Zhaitan resurrected, such as everything on Arah. All the races of Tyria besides the Sylvari can be corrupted by him. Throughout the next 106 years, Zhaitan would begin to work his way into Tyria's mainland and destroy anything that stood in its way. The first time Zhaitan took major strides to eradicate the living forces would be at Claw Island, a defensive outpost to protect Lion's Arch from attacks from the sea. It was here where Zhaitan could gain access to all the capital cities and cut off the main trade city of Tyria.
Thank you for meeting with us, Watch Commander Tolin. We have grave news. One of Zhaitan's minions breached the city. We destroyed it, but the creature was likely scouting for a much bigger force. An attack is imminent.
A what? That's extremely unlikely. We've seen no sign of an impending attack. If there was to be one, we'd know of it.
By the bow, Siren? May the tree watch over you, young one. How's the Priory treating you?
Firstborn, it is an honor to see you again. I'm so glad you're here. Something terrible is about to happen. Traherne, this is my dear friend, one of the kindest and most dedicated Magisters in the Priory. Magister, this is Traherne, Tyria's foremost scholar on Zhaitan and Arah. He's a hero to me.
Commander Talon, I can confirm their information. Zhaitan's servants are indeed approaching. A fleet of dead ships has launched from the Straits of Devastation. The Risen sail beneath a cloak of stealth.
Whatever you've seen, it can't be a real threat. Claw Island can withstand any assault.
Medic! We need a medic over here! Commander Talon, hold on. You'll be all right.
Quiet, Mira. Soldiers don't need lies. Retreat to the city. Tell the Commodore. We did all we could.
By your will, Commander. I swear to you, this isn't over.
Mira, the island is overwhelmed. We have to evacuate the Lion Guard and ignite the watchtowers to warn the city.
No, you'll never make it to the beacon with these risen monstrosities chasing you. We'll have to fight our way back. The Lion Guard will make a stand in the courtyard while you go for the tower. God's willing, the Risen will be too busy fighting us to stop you.
Your bravery is commendable, Deputy Mira, but your soldiers cannot survive a protracted battle against this many undead.
It's the duty of every Lion Guard to lay down our lives to protect our city. If that's what it takes, that's exactly what we'll do. We'll rally in the courtyard. You light the warning beacons. Now go!
One of the Silvari's firstborn, Traherne, would be tasked with the wild hunt of cleansing ore, and that meant Zhaitan would be his main obstacle. Traherne was an Orient expert and knew everything there was to know about the continent and everything it held on it. He was one of the only living people to have seen Zhaitan personally and lived to tell the tale. This individual, along with the hero of Tyria, would single-handedly form the organization known as the Pact, an alliance of the three great orders of Tyria, the Dermond Priory.
The Dermond Priory is a bastion of history, containing the collected wisdom of the ages. For 200 years, we've stood upon a foundation of lore, research, and exploration. When Lion's Arch was flooded by the rise of the nation of Or, our forebearers rescued the city's survivors. We salvaged knowledge that would otherwise have been lost. Now, as the dragons ravage ever greater expanses of Tyria, we must do even more. We must discover the truths that Tyria needs to survive. Where the dragons came from, why, and how to end their threat. The Priory is dedicated to learning. Siren, one of our most cunning scholars, will provide tutelage to help you gain wisdom that you will need. Dermond, our founder, said it best. Your power is only equal to the sum of your knowledge. If that's true, then we're Tyria's best hope to survive the darkness gathering on the horizon. Welcome to the Dermond Priory.
The Vigil?
6 years ago, a dragon rose in Ascalon. It flew south, killing and corrupting everything in its path. I stood beneath the dragon as it passed overhead. I survived where others did not. All across Tyria, I found others who told of destruction caused by the dragons. Humans and Silvari battling undead that swarmed their shores. A sword driven from their underground cities. Joining together, we gave birth to a mighty organization, the Vigil. We're proud that you have chosen to serve alongside us. Your mentor will be Thor, one of our finest soldiers and the most stalwart Norn I know. He'll teach you to fight with the Vigil. The Vigil was created to fight the dragons, to destroy them before they destroy us. Some must fight, so that all may be free. Welcome to the Vigil.
And the Order of Whispers.
Welcome, Initiate. Yes, we know who you are. We've been watching you. You join us even as the fate of nations hangs in the balance. Only the Order of Whispers stands between civilization and ruin. In every nation, the dragons are rising. They will devour the world. If they aren't stopped, they'll turn Tyria into a burnt-out husk, a broken shell. You may have chosen to join the Order of Whispers, but our trust is earned, not given. Now is the time to show your worth. It doesn't matter where the dragons came from, or why they awakened. The secrets we discover will help us send them back to hell. Welcome to the Order of Whispers.
Traherne and the hero of Tyria would force the orders to work together despite their differences for the good of the living, and the Battle of Claw Island would be the Pact's first test. Traherne traveled to Claw Island to warn the Lion Guard of the impending surprise attack the Risen had planned, led by Blightghast the Plaguebringer, one of Zhaitan's dragon champions. The Lion Guard were not ready, and the Risen forced everyone to retreat. This is when Traherne called upon the Orders to unite for the first time. With their combined forces, they devised a plan to take back Claw Island.
So, I see Gix stumbled out of his library, and the Preceptor crawled out of her hole.
I see you're not letting rationality get in the way of your ignorance, Almora. How predictable.
Who are you calling ignorant, you twitchy little bookworm?
Wonderful. I see we're off to a running start. The Order of Whispers needs allies, not infants.
Enough bickering, all of you. Our real enemy lurks across the waves. Zhaitan's servants march at the gates of Lion's Arch. We must band together, or we will all be destroyed.
When I joined my order, I swore to fight Zhaitan. I will die for Tyria if I must. However, I believe that together we can win. The Vigil has shown tremendous courage in the fight against the dragons. This alliance will require courage as well. Why back down now? The Order of Whispers has seen nations rise and fall. You cannot hide from this threat. You need to make a stand. And who knows more about the dragons than the Priory? Just think of how much there is to learn. Where else but in Ore?
By the worlds of eternal alchemy, you're bold. But you're correct. Knowledge is useless if it is not used. We shall aid you.
The Order of Whispers has worked for generations to bring nations together. We can do no less now. Our blades are yours.
The Vigil fears nothing, not even ill-tempered, undisciplined louts like these two. We'll join, but I insist there's a decent hierarchy. Who will lead this compact?
Logic dictates that it cannot be a member of any of our orders, lest one be seen as above the other two. Quite a conundrum.
I've already considered that. Traherne, you've never joined an order, yet they all respect you. You've studied Ore all your life. Will you lead us?
I never wanted to be a soldier. I'm only a seeker of truth. But, yes, I will lead this pack to the gates of Arah, and together, we will see Zhaitan destroyed. First, to Claw Island. Let us send our defiant message straight into the heart of Ore. Tyria stands as one.
They stormed the docks and used the warning towers to blow open the main doors to the courtyard, then systematically cut down the Risen and took back key locations from which they launched an attack on the beach. Blightghast had no choice but to reveal himself, and after a devastating battle, he was defeated, crippling the Risen severely. With this victory, a glimmer of hope shined in the darkness.
We did it. we recaptured Claw Island, and in so doing saved Lion's Arch as well. I do not know what lies ahead of us, my friend, but for the first time, I have hope. Hope that this alliance can save Tyria from the dragons. Hope for the future. Hope for Orr.
As Traherne stated, we shall begin our march toward Orr. First, with the capture of Fort Concordia in Timberline Falls, an abandoned fortress, the first official Pact base. This would be used as a forward operating base to the Straits of Devastation, the first area in Orr. There, we can establish the Pact headquarters known as Fort Trinity on the shores of Terzito Bay. Not long after its establishment, though, Zhaitan tried to infiltrate it and steal a very powerful orb that was powering the fort's defenses. Luckily, we stopped the disguised scouts before it was too late. This orb would have been deadly in Zhaitan's clutches. Next, we could cautiously push into Orr. We would have to take out the agents of Zhaitan responsible for the attack on Fort Trinity.
Thank you for your patience, Commander. Allow me to introduce the revered Sire Al-Rajid.
In the name of the Concordat of the Tetios houses, I greet you, ally of my ally.
It's an honor, sire. I have heard that your people don't meet with land dwellers.
You speak truth. I have long owed Traherne. Now at last he has called upon me to honor my oath.
Scouts have discovered a sixth temple in Orr, a lost shrine to a fallen god hidden underwater in the Strait of Malediction. Abaddon, the human god of secrets, was cast out of Arah by the other deities, and his name was erased from history. Very little remained. Zhaitan craves something inside that temple, so we must get there first. Sire will accompany you as a guide.
We arrived too late to stop Zhaitan's servants from claiming a powerful artifact, but we killed one of the dragon's lieutenants and collected some valuable information. The creatures we saw seemed connected to Zhaitan itself, and also seemed to be acting on its top priorities. These two creatures are the eye and the mouth of Zhaitan. With the help of Traherne, we found a way to attract the eye of Zhaitan. After its defeat, Traherne sent the eye's body back to be studied by the Pact's foremost authorities in order to determine what it was and how we could use it against him. We joined Traherne, Professor Gore, and Scholar Vivian aboard a Pact airship to conduct tests on the dead eye of Zhaitan without endangering anyone in Fort Trinity. We saw horrific images of Orr, and we identified the location of the mouth. Zhaitan's food supply was curtailed, and we could continue to weaken its resistance against us. In order to proceed with the campaign to Arah, we would need to search for the source of Orr, the main location of the land's corruption. We thought the source would be the royal tombs of Azib Kabar. With our failed attempt, we gained the aid from the former and last king of Orr and the true location of the source.
No. We were so close. By the pale tree, it's impossible. All this, all these lives, wasted. All for nothing.
Traherne, didn't you see? The cleansing worked. For a moment, the spirit of the land rose up like a breath of wind.
We all felt it. It was as if Orr's own soul was fighting to be free. The ritual was a success.
But the absolution didn't hold. Though sacred, the royal tombs weren't strong enough. This isn't the heart of Orr. I wonder if such a heart still exists.
Wait, remember the vision that the pale tree gave us? An Orrian king spoke of the source. Maybe that's something that can help.
You're right. The source of Orr. Yes.
To cleanse Zhaitan's corruption from Orr, Traherne had to connect with the dying spirit of the land. After finding the source of Orr's magic, Traherne performed a powerful ritual while we defended him.
It's done. I can feel the waters beginning to radiate, with the energy of Khaled bulb flowing everywhere the water touches.
Trahan, are you well? You look like you can barely stand.
The ritual has taken a great deal out of me, but I will live.
Let's make sure of that. Medic! We need a medic over here!
No need. Our work here is done, though the fight is far from over. We must regroup at Fort Trinity, and then we will have the opportunity to plan your next step forward.
I look forward to it. And Marshal, congratulations on the successful conclusion of your wild hunt.
Now, the land has a chance to recover, once the dragon is destroyed. The purification of war will only last if Zhaitan is destroyed. Next time, our battle will be with Zhaitan itself, and we will be victorious. We arrive at Arah with the sight of the Humble, the airship that would take us deeper into the city, and, a sight for sore eyes, Destiny's Edge, a guild of elite Elder Dragon fighters comprising of Seraph Commander Logan Thackeray, Blood Legion Tribute Ritlock Brimstone, the legendary Air Stagolkin and her wolf companion Garm, Firstborn Silvari Cade, and finally the highly respected Zoja of Radissoon.
Arah was once the city of the human gods. Even after the deities quit this sphere, it remained a golden, shining place. Until the folly of man sank it beneath the waves. Yet worse was still to come. The Elder Dragon awoke and pulled ore from its watery grave, and raised hordes of undead minions from the twisted wreckage. Now Zhaitan's minions infest this place. We must rise above them if we hope to confront the Elder Dragon.
We'll need every airship if we're going to succeed in this mission. We must salvage enough power cores to get this one up and into combat. If Tyria is to have any hope, we must finish what we started. We must destroy Zhaitan.
And with your help, we will.
One more thing. We have to thank you for bringing us back together.
I don't know what I've done.
You have led, by word and by deed. Without your example, we would never have reunited. I tried to force them. I was wrong. You have restored us.
Are we going to get started? Or just chat Zhaitan to death?
Destiny's Edge assisted in getting the Humble back in the air by salvaging parts from the wrecked airships nearby. With all of us ready to take off, the last tether to the ship malfunctioned, and Logan chose to stay behind to release it so the rest of the team could progress.
Hold them off while we finish installing those cores. Cast off! We're lifting off! Line 1, cast off!
Line 2, cast off!
Fast as the wind. The witch is broken. We can't cast off.
We're stuck. Someone has to stay behind to release the airship.
I'll do it.
No, Logan, we can't split up. Not this time.
Long ago, I failed all of you. I left you behind to fight. Now you need to leave me behind so you can carry the fight forward.
You don't have to do this.
Yes, I do. For all of you, and for myself.
Fine, but if you get yourself killed, I'll hound you into the mists.
We soared through the air, battling everything that came our way, decimating risen giants with the ship's cannons, as well as anti-air Orient towers with a mouth of Zhaitan at its center. Soon after, we engaged 3 champions of Zhaitan, Orgravos the Moondeath, Fafnir'in the Heartslayer, and Horagos the Soulbreaker. But even they couldn't stop us. When we least expected, Zhaitan appeared from the depths and took a shot at our ship and crippled it. We had to evacuate. Just in time, the glory of Tyria, a marvel of engineering incorporating elements of Asura, Char, human, Silvari, and even Norn design, and the flagship of the assault appeared from the mists, ready to encounter the Elder Dragon and put an end to its tyranny.
Everyone onto the other ship!
Come on, you laggards! We don't have all day.
Logan, you're alive!
Did you think I was going to let you go up against Zhaitan alone?
Logan, I'm delighted to see you're well. I thought.
I know. I got out by the skin of my teeth and hopped a lift with this ship. It's a new design.
Impressive. I think this is just what we need to take down a dragon.
Everyone to your battle stations. We're going in!
Us heroes, Destiny's Edge, and the crew of the Humble abandoned ship and joined the rest of the forces, as well as Logan, aboard the Glory of Tyria. We weakened Zhaitan, knocking him out of the sky using the airship's mega-lit cannon. We blasted his tail clean off, but that would be the only thing the cannon would do, as Zhaitan blasted it to bits. But that wasn't our only trick. Using our lower cannons, we locked Zhaitan in place long enough to burn one of his wings, disabling him and forcing him to land on a nearby tower. This was it. He was in a corner now, and it was our job to unleash hell upon him and defeat this danger once and for all.
The Elder Dragon is no more.
We have succeeded, but only by coming together to fight a greater foe. You have shown the way. We, and all of Tyria, are in your debt.
With the help of a reunited Destiny's Edge, the Pact was able to accomplish the impossible. The slaying of an Elder Dragon. Zhaitan has fallen, and while the Pact's work is far from over, we have achieved a major victory. We agreed to continue the fight against the remaining Elder Dragons after we take a moment to honor the fallen and celebrate this triumph.
Courage, skill, and friendship brought the dragon low. Let this day never be forgotten.
A victory that all Tyria can share.
This is not an ending. There are other dragons out there. Other battles.
You shambling fuzzball. Can't you just be happy?
I was being happy.
Will you return to your queen now, Logan?
No. Not until I know that Kryt is safe.
Meaning he's up for more fighting. See? Logan's happy too.
Snaff would be proud of us. Especially of you, Zojja.
Proud that we didn't screw up and plant our faces in the mud again, you mean? Well, I guess he would, at that.
So, who's next? Jormag, Primordus, Krokotoric?
As dawn scatters shadows, so we will destroy them all. We could not have done this without you. Thank you.
You're welcome. You can count on me.
Good. Because Air is right. The rest of the dragons are still out there, waiting.
Hiding from the crowds, Traherne? That won't do. The world needs to see the Pact Marshal celebrating.
Not hiding, my friend. Thinking. Completing my wild hunt lifted a weight from me, but Zhaitan is still a terrible threat. Now that threat is truly gone. It feels like the sun has finally emerged after a cold, endless night. I can't help but wonder, what's next? Now that we've formed this unstoppable alliance and tempered it in battle, where do we take it?
To the next challenge, the next victory. There are more Elder Dragons to confront, and now we know how. We know they can be defeated. First, we celebrate. We won, Marshal. It would be a crime not to stop and appreciate that. Come on, there's an army of people and an ocean of libations waiting. All of Tyria deserves to share this triumph, including you. Join us.
Victory at last. With Zhaitan defeated, the corruption it wrought can be undone. The dragon's undead minions that still infest Tyria will now gradually be exterminated. One day soon, that plague will be but a memory. Zhaitan's defeat has saved many lives. More importantly, it has restored hope to a desperate world. The dragons are not stars in the sky. They can be counted. They can be fought. One day, we will kill the last of them. Only then will Tyria be safe. This is a new beginning for Orr, and for Tyria. A clear sky after a long storm. This is a dawn that Tyria shall never forget. This day is ours.
We returned to Fort Trinity and joined the assembly of soldiers, scholars, spies, and citizens celebrating the fall of Zhaitan. The Pact stood triumphant, but we did not delude ourselves. Swarms of risen still roam Tyria, and there are more Elder Dragons to contend with. We knew that soon we would once again rise up to defend our world, but that did not stop us from taking this opportunity to savor a well-earned victory. Besides the Pact, another group stood the test of time. A united group of unlikely allies that fought up against dangerous enemies. Tyria needs heroes, and Destiny's Edge is just the beginning. But that's a tale for another day.
Sounds of melodies calling through the night to your